Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Welcome to your 12th and last session of book clubs across borders between Sargodha and Herat. Unfortunately, as you all know, that our friends in Herat, they cannot connect with us. So we will be having our conversation. So the book that we are discussing today is Empires of the Indus, and I'm hoping that most of you have read the book, or if you haven't gotten the chance to read the book, you did some research on it.
Yeah, a little
Okay. Did you read the book or did you do some research?
research.
All right. So anyone else who would like to tell me if they have read the book or they've done some research?
Ma'am, I had read half of the book.
All right. That's lovely. Anyone else? Nadeem or Hassan or Moaz, if you would like to tell me if you have read the book or if you've done some research, so I will get an idea if how to take the conversation forward. All right. Since Nishwa, you told me that you have read half of the book, I would like to come to you first and please tell all of us that what the book is about and what do you think of the book? Did you like it? And if you were able to, read half of it, why weren't you able to finish all of it? So please, Nishwa, you can start.
Basically, this book is about a river, and it is a non-fiction book. And the writer's journey. It's a book about the writer's journey from Karachi to Tibet along the Indus River. The book revolves around the river, and the writer experiences it. That what he had seen, what he got from it, and what he had seen. He had just written the book, and the book gave an insight into the communities as well as the history and the political framework of the countries through which the Indus flows. And the content of the book is, I think, very nicely written. Basically, this book all about the river Indus, and where it flows, through which countries, and their history related, each and everything. And it's dry, you can say that, but good book. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Nishwa, for sharing all of that. And you rightly said so that it's a non-fiction book. It's basically a travel log. Alice Albania is a travel writer, and when she came to Pakistan, she stayed. She first came to Karachi, and she took the Indus River's route from Karachi till Ladakh. It's in India, in the Himalaya range, from where the river Indus starts. And you rightly said so that it takes you on a journey on the route of Indus River, on which areas it goes through, its history, its culture, the communities that live along the riverside. On that note, I would like to ask any of the boys who would like to talk about this book or anything that they understood from the book or any research that they did.
Assalamu alaikum. Unfortunately, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't read the book because of my carelessness, but I have done a pretty good research on it by viewing summaries and lots of reviews on YouTube. So basically, this book is about Alice Albania's journey along the historic Indus River, which starts from Karachi and ends at Tibet. From start to the end, it includes four nations, which involves different villages, towns, and communities. Basically, the book is about places and the people writer meets, their culture, their religious, their emotional attachment with the Indus River, and their history. As you know, Indus River is contains so much big ancient history. So this book is about all of it. And also, she also pointed out environmental concern, that how river and land surrounded it is impacted by recklessly human activities. She also quoted Islamic saints in it. There were pictures of the places that she visited, so many mizars, and uh, and the villages she visited. She took a picture of it and also mentioned them in the book. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muzahir, and I'm so glad that you did your research on this. So I would like to talk about that how, since it's a journey of a river, what do you think is the importance of river, of especially Indus River, in Pakistan or generally in our lives? Since Alice Albania is taking you on the journey of River Indus, why do you think she chose? She could have taken any other route. She could have taken a train route of Pakistan, but she took the route of River Indus. So why do you think taking River Indus as as a way of transport was important in this book or was important to her? What comes to your mind?
Actually, the river Indus is special for its history. The civilization starts from it. Our subcontinent, even our subcontinents, the civilization starts from its. There are so many historic things related to it. The people live near them. Near them are source of great history, from which the civilization start first. Uh, Actually, uh, the civilizations and the culture start from near it, and then it spread around all over the place around Asia.
Thank you so much, Muzahir, for that. And you rightly said so that the river it holds a lot of history as well. The most ancient civilization that we always read in our history books when we even start reading history is the Indus Valley civilization. And it was when when we study the Indus Valley civilization, we are made aware that it was made on the banks of River Indus, and since there was no technology in that time, people used to live around the river banks because the land was fertile. They could harvest, they could have they could plant their crops. It was a source of food, it was source of water. The people made they sprang out whole communities over there. And one of the theories that why that civilization ended was maybe because of the fact environmental changes, the river changed its route. And one of the reasons that historians put is that maybe it was because of the Aryans attack, or there can be multiple reasons. But it is one of the reasons that is pointed out by historians, that maybe the river changed its route, or there was flooding, which we also see in today's time more frequently. So, talking again about the river, anyone else who would like to add on to this conversation? That why the river is important, especially keeping in mind the river Indus. And how can you, since you all are living Sargodha, how do you think you are connected to river Indus? Hello, anyone? There are many things that come to my mind, even though I'm not living in Sargodha. Nishwa, would you like to answer this? Guys, it's a very simple
Hello.
question. Yes. Hello, Nadine. Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I was facing some internet issues. I couldn't understand your question. I'm sorry.
Acha, so I was simply asking that since we are talking about River Indus, you guys living in
Yeah.
Sargodha, how do you think that you are connected to the River Indus?
Well, since I'm personally a bit interested in these kind of things, so I know that the river Indus is actually the mother river or the source river for most of these major rivers of Punjab. So I live just about a kilometer and a half from Chenab River. So and even we study, if we study history, all major civilizations like the Mesopotamian or the Indus Valley, as the name says, all most of them begin somewhere around a river. So Indus River is actually where this whole subcontinent, where all the people here they are, as far as Bangladesh, Pakistan, everything in between. They are all the civilizations started from here in this lands in Sindh, because uh, in ancient times, like when Muslims started coming here, uh, Indians thought that this area of Sindh was unconquerable, or if anyone did, because they, as in book they say that the Alexander the Great only could only come as far as the river, and then he had to return. So if they thought, they believed that if someone crossed the river and conquered the land, they wouldn't be able to conquer the whole India. And same was with the British. So it has very historical value for people of this area in general, for Hindus. And as the writer, she told us about the people who also believe the river to be very holy, like the fishermen around in Karachi still today. And it's also very important thing, very important source for us still.
Thank you so much, Nadeem, for sharing this. And I'm so glad that whenever we have you in our sessions, you always bring in, a very personal narrative as well. That since you mentioned that the place where you live is 1 kilometer away from Chenab, and I have been to one of the banks of Chenab, where it's in Multan. And even though Chenab is one of the smaller, it's not as big as Sindh, River Indus, but once you see a river in its all might, it's very it makes you feel goosebumps that that there is this something, water is mighty over here. So since you mentioned
Well,
that, yes.
you were talking about this. Well, it isn't related to the book, but I would say that the first time I saw the river actually was I was like 14, about somewhere about 14 I was, and the river was overflowing. And when I went there, it actually scared me to hear its sound and its might. And then you imagine that the Indus River is far bigger than it, and now there is so much like dams and barrages. But back in the day when it was flowing in its full might, then it would have been really scary to see it as well.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing this, Nadeem, and I'm so glad that you always bring in something, personal from your life. So again, coming back to the book, and also Nadeem pointed out, and we all have been talking about how the river impacts the life of people as well. I would like to talk about how our folk tales are somehow, situated around the banks of River Indus. One of the, oldest or most talked about folk tales which originated from the river Indus is the tale of Jhule Lal. Have you guys heard of Jhule Lal before? Or do you know about that legend?
Well, I have listened it in a song or maybe Kawali, but I don't know about it.
So, anyone else? I think this is also mentioned in the book. Hello, guys. Anyone who would like to tell me about the legend of Jhulelal or how it is connected to the river? It's, as Muzahir told us, that it has been quoted in a lot of songs. And Chale, I will tell you a little bit about this legend. So, Jhulelal, or the living saint, which is also, very popular in interior Sindh, he is one of those saints who is shared by Hindus and Muslims alike. So the legend, it has a lot of variations, but the major story is that they were there. The ruler of Thatta, he wanted to, Jhulelal was basically the shrine is in Uderolal, which is in Sindh. So the legend goes like that the ruler of Thatta, who was a Muslim at that time, he wanted to his in the outskirts of Thatta there was Hindu majority communities. He wanted to forcefully convert them to Muslims, but the Hindus, they wanted to resist, and they wanted to do something about it. So since the river Indus was very high and mighty in their area, they used to pray to the river as well. So what they did was they went to the river, they prayed for like 40 nights, which we usually call as 40 दिन का जो चिल्ला होता है जो बहुत से saints ये काम करते होते हैं whenever they are praying for something. So that's what the Hindus did. And after 40 nights, praying there 40 days and 40 nights, when they returned, they used to, they were hoping for a sign. They found out that there was a child born to this couple, and that child, he started growing up very quickly, and he told them that I will be your savior. And when eventually the ruler of Thatta, he attacked those Hindu communities, Udero Lal, that the child's name was Udero Lal, he appeared in front of the ruler, and he said that I will not let you do this to my community. And he was in front of the river, and if you look up the pictures of Jhulelal, that saint, you will see that he is riding a fish. You might have heard of Palla Machli as well, which is also famous in interior Sindh, from where the river Indus passes. So he appeared on a giant fish, and he told the ruler that I will not let you do this to my community. And the ruler, he resisted, but he asked the river to attack the ruler. And he got scared, of course, and he he ran away, he ran back to his palace, and he did not bother the Hindus again. So this is one of the legends. There are a lot of legends, around this, and the river is again, it's playing a very high and mighty part, because the community, the people there, they used to revere the river because it was providing them food, it was providing them clean water, and since they used to, pray for it, when you are looking up to something as high and mighty as some omnipresent, there are always, legends around it. So that's like one of the legends of Jhulelal, and how since it's also associated, there are also legends that Jhulelal or Udero Lal, he converted to Islam and he became Muslim. So that's why Muslims also revere him. And it's very interesting, if you read up on this, you will find out that Udero Lal, the shrine of Jhulelal, Baba Jhulelal in Uderolal, it's very interesting to see that at one side there is a masjid, and on the other side there is a temple. So Muslims and Hindus, they both come in harmony over there, and they clean the shrine together. They pray, Hindus, they pray in the temple, and Muslims, they pray in the masjid. So, in a way, the river is also bringing the communities together. So anyone who would like to, give their feedback on the story, or how they now think about the river when it comes to, these legends? Can you guys hear me?
This river is basically a union between communities. This can reunite many communities with together. And so it is not wrong to say that that it reunites many communities and it generates humanity between the many nations and many history and related saints and different interfaces like civilization and art, culture is related to this river.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nishwa. Anyone else who would like to, talk about this?
As you know, River Indus is a non-living thing, but due to its might and scarier flow, it changed everything around it. Even it creates religious which don't exist, and made communities, made people know about how to irrigate, how to live at a fertile land, and to create a community and civilization. If it was not there, then also we could have not be such civilized and um,
Thank you so much, Muzahir. So I have another thing to share with you guys. So on the website of Alice Albania, where she is, where she has put up some content of the book, you can find a very interesting map. Let me share my screen with you. And so can you guys see my screen?
yes.
All right. So if you go on the website of Alice Albania and I'll share this link with you. So it's basically one of the covers of the book as well. And you can see that it's an illustration of River Indus, and there are some, some murals of an ancient civilization. And you can see, maybe it's an illustration of Palla Machli, and there are on some banks of River Indus, there are some species of crocodiles as well. But the interesting thing is that when Alice was going on her journey on this river, she recorded sounds, and as she took photographs that you can see in the book, she recorded some sounds of the river as well. So I'd be playing those sounds for you, which will also, make this experience for you very interactive. Let me know if you guys can hear the sound. So the first sound that I'm going to play is sung by Yuja near, no, I will first play the sound of water bubbling up from the source of River Indus in Tibet. So it's the sound which comes from the place where River Indus starts in Tibet. Can you guys hear it?
Yes.
Since you can see that it's a 3 minute and 24-second long audio, you can listen to it yourself, all of it. The next sound that I'll be playing is the song sung by Ruja near the source of the Indus Tibet. So first, let me play this sound, and then we can talk about it.
Ado kabare chundongati baya chidare Yaraye payukor yanas adokachu boya jolo shese no ya chisa yes yara ya 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 pamama ponos ada yon sola le shansi ka ada ya kabore
So I know we could not understand the language because I'm assuming that it's an indigenous language of the Tibet, or maybe the person who belongs to that community, it's their indigenous language. But I'm sure that it must have, made you feel something. So would you guys like to tell me what it made you feel when you listened to this song?
Well, it was very pleasant, and I started imagining uh, things in my mind which I have seen about River Indus, or I have read about it. So it sounds like Alice Albanians were having quite fun around matlab, these areas.
Yeah. I think even though I couldn't understand the language, I would look up on it and I'll read more about it. But I think you can see that there was, some sense of longing, and then of course, you could also hear, little bit of the river flowing in the back as well. So it made me feel very calm, because maybe it's something which sometimes I think, even if you don't understand the lyrics, you can still understand the melody, where it's coming from. Anyone else who would like to share their feelings? Nadeem, Moaz. Hello. Nadeem, would you like to say something? Nadeem, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now,
Yes,
ma'am?
yes, I can hear you. G.
Yeah, I was saying that to me it also reminds me of the contrast that is of the people that are living around this river. I mean, like if we go up there in Ladakh or other areas from where the river begins, those people are very different, and the atmosphere, the environment is very different. It is cold, mountainous, and if we compare them with the people of Sindh, and then they all look different. They speak different languages. They have different environment and climate. But this river, Indus River, I mean, it is what makes them. I mean, it is one thing common among all of us
It
people
brings them together.
from there to the. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful point that you made, that we can see that all along the course of the river, there are different communities, there are different people who have different lifestyles, people who even have, as you mentioned, that when the river starts from the mountainous areas in Tibet, or when it goes to Ladakh, people have very, simple lives. They are living in mountains and they don't have that kind of worries that the people, when the river comes into Punjab and Sindh, the whole scenario changes. You can also see that the river is bringing in all of these memories, or all of these cultures together by just flowing through these areas. Or if you can imagine the river to be something alive, you can see that it's experiencing all of these things. right? So the next sound that I'll play is a grass cutting song sung by the villagers in Matho, Ladakh in India. So before I begin this song, you might have noticed that people who work in the fields or people who, you know, who even fishermen when they are going out in the sea and to catch their fish, they have these specific rituals, or maybe they have made these songs to keep themselves busy and to keep themselves entertained or keep on having fun on their job. So I think it's one of those activities that Alice Albania was able to record on her journey. So I'll be playing this sound. So again, it's again a very long audio. So I'm just playing 1 minute of it. But again, I would like to know from you guys what it made you feel. Nishwa, please start. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Well, it feels like they were enjoying doing it, and they are very happy there. As you said that songs can melody can tell us about their feeling who are singing them. So it made me feel like they are happy there. They are free from all tensions about the world, and they are enjoying their work there, and singing song, and uh, just are busy in their routine life.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Muzahir. Anyone else who would like to say something about what this audio made them feel?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, people here enjoy doing work with all together and with happily and singing song and melody. It's all about that they are happy with their work and they feel happy and calm with their work, and they are all at peace while doing their work, and they sing song because they all are satisfied with what they are doing.
Thank you so much, Nishwa. And I would also like to know, because this happened with me when I was listening to this audio, that I could, imagine myself maybe being there, or I could picture what they are doing. They are in a field which is on the banks of River Indus, and they are cutting grass, because I could also hear the scythe cutting the grass. Could you guys also picture that?
Well, I was picturing fishing them.
That's very cute. I can see that Eamon is also connected. Eamon, would you like to share something? Eamon, can you hear me? Okay, you can type your answer over here. Okay, I'll read it out to the students. So let's come to the plains, and I'll play. Oh, there is an audio of a flute player recorded at the Urs of Shah Abdul Latif at Bhit Sindh. You all would have heard of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai and the Urs, the famous Urs that happens in Sindh. So I'll be playing that audio, and it's a flute sound. I'm sorry that I paused it just when it was picking up. Do you guys want to listen to this whole audio?
Well, it was good. I want to listen.
Okay, let's listen to all of it and then we'll come back to it. So this was the sound of flute being played at the Urs of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai. So please, guys, the floor is yours. If you'd like to share whatever you felt while listening to it, and what are you feeling now?
Well, it was pretty good. I am not a professionalist, or even I don't listen to songs that much, but the short notes with fastly which he was playing, it was expressing happiness, and like he is having a a fair mela, I mean, and the long notes with the high pitch that he was playing, it feel like he was expressing some kind of pain or something like that. It was really good. I like it.
Thank you so much, Muzahir, for sharing that. Moaz, you haven't spoken since we started talking. Would you like to say something? Moaz, can you hear me?
मैम एक्चुअली इसका एक्सीडेंट हुआ है सुबह.
Oh, okay. So he didn't need to connect, but
Yes,
okay.
but I forced him to connect.
Okay, that's okay. Nishwa or Nadeem, would you like to say something?
Would like to say something. Uh, Unlike Muzair, people like me who don't know much about music notes, I would say it was simply very calming. And even if it was 15-20 minutes, I would have listened to it because I actually just came home from a long journey. It kind of like made me relax a lot. And it must be very relaxing for people who are listening it up close.
Yeah, I can totally imagine that. And it's the kind of music, and since it's indigenous to Pakistan as well, I can see myself listening to this music just to calm myself down. And it also as Muzahir pointed this out, that it did at some points it did make me feel happy. But I don't know why, but this kind of music always makes me feel like that the person is hoping for something, they are longing for something. Nishwa, would you like to say something? Nishwa, can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am, I can hear you. I
There's a
like
lot of
it.
background noise at your end. Can you please step somewhere, go somewhere which is quieter? Nishwa, can you tell us now that what did this flute music made you feel? Okay, in the meantime, I'll play another audio of, we'll go to the Indus Delta now, since we are, running short on time as well. So I'll play this sound of women singing in the Indus Delta. So, what did this sound made you all feel?
I don't know why it made me feel like they are complaining of something, and
Okay.
they it contains a lot of Punjabi and Urdu words also.
Yeah, so I think it's since I don't know Sindhi, but I am imagining, or I think we'll have to, do some research on this. Then it's in what particular language is this, but you could, understand some of the words like they were saying tujhe and machero. They were talking about fish or catching fish, and they also mentioned Kinjar Jheel as well. So Kenjir Lake is one of the largest lakes in Sindh, and the fishermen they usually go there to catch fish, and there are also many legends around that lake as well. So I am assuming it's about that lake and their activity of catching fish. Um, Anyone else who felt the same way or they felt differently about this? Nishwa, can you speak now? Or Nadine, if you would like to say something about this audio.
Yes, I don't think that they were complaining. I think they were just singing some song about their everyday life routines. And I would also like to add that if we see all the pattern in all these songs and these musics, these sounds that she gathered, we would see that all of them are very simple, and mostly they are just probably talking about farming or their daily lives, their routines. And like the flute was playing, people were listening to it. And these things are very simple, but people uh, do these things still. And those people are living a simple life, maybe a rather harsh life than compared to some of us, but they are living more peacefully in this way.
Eamon, I saw your message. You said that you did because the song gave a sense of movement. Which song are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about all of these, that
Nadine, no,
they
I'm
are
sorry.
very.
I didn't. I'm not
So,
asking you. I'm asking Eamon. She said in the chat box. Uh,
okay, okay.
okay. You are saying that you understood it because the song gave a sense of movement. Can you please elaborate more on that? So I will play, in the meantime, I will play the last audio of, since the first audio that we listened to it was about the water bubbling up from the source of river Indus in Tibet. And then we heard a song sung by Yuja near the source of Indus in Tibet. But we will conclude this, audio session on the River Delta, where fishermen are singing in a village, at a riverside village in the Indus Delta.
सिंध करे पी पानी पानी मणु न मरिया ए मलक साईं रे मतवारो हणे कमी वसा ए मलक साईं रे मतवारो हणे कमी वसा सिंध करे पई पानी पानी मणु मन मरिया ए मलक साईं रे मतवारो हणे कमी वसा अल्लाह साईं हाणे रे मतवर मी वसा सिंध करे पई पाणी पाणी माण्हू मर मरी विया ए मालिक साईं रे मतवारो हाणे कमी वसा
So I could understand most of this song, but before I start talking, I would like to know what did you guys understand or what did you guys feel?
Uh, I think it's a Sindhi song. It's Sindhi language. It's melodious and it's about water, because they just sung in the song about pani pani. Just so and they, I think they just talk about water and water related things.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nishpa. Yeah, it was mentioned in the beginning, but there was also, one specific line where they're saying they are praying to Allah ke aisi barish barsa jo ke rahmat wali ho. Me is basically barish in Urdu, in finer Urdu that you can say. So Allah Sai, Malik Sai, rahmat ka barish barsa. So, because we all know that when it rains heavily, and since it is happening right now in Karachi, on the banks of Arabian Sea as well. You guys have, if you have been listening to the news, it's also happening there. That when it rains heavily, there is chances of flooding as well. So maybe that's what the fishermen are singing about. They are praying to Allah or praying to their God, whatever their religion is, that whichever rain you bring upon us, please it be of rahmat and of blessings, and it doesn't harm us in any way. And you also know when it rains heavily, the rivers also get flooded and they affect the nearby villages as well. Anyone else who would like to say something? Hello, guys, can you hear me? So I'll share this link with you guys in the chat box. So you can, listen to more of these audios. And if you liked any of it, you can download it, or, keep it safe somewhere so you can listen to it, maybe the flute sound or any other songs. And maybe you can do some more research on it to understand more about these communities or the pathway that the river follows. So, Nadeem, you were going to say something?
Well, I was same again. I was going to say that as we can hear the theme in these songs is somewhat similar. It is very simple. That's all. I understood, because from the tone as well, and some words that particularly from the Sindhi songs I heard, that they are only talking about their everyday life. They are not demanding, or they are not saying something any particular about. They are asking something, or they praying for something like in the community and stuff. That.
Thank you so much, Nadeem, for sharing that. And this brings us to the end of our 12th session of Book Clubs Across Borders. Thank you so much, guys, for being such good participants. Even though you didn't read the book, you were able to, talk about whatever question I was putting towards you guys. And we listened to all of these sounds and we talked about them. It was a really good experience for me as well, because even though I had listened to all of these sounds before, but I was never able to, talk about them. So again, thank you so much for being a part of this project. I am hoping that it was a great learning experience for all of you. You enjoyed reading all of these books and you also enjoyed talking about them. And I wish you good luck to all of you in your future endeavors, and keep on reading, keep on talking about books, and inshallah, our paths might cross at some point in life, I'm hoping. So anyone who would like to say anything at the end?
Yeah, ma'am, this BCAP session totally changed me. I was a very introvert type boy. I mean, I didn't participated in anything. I was um, introvert before, but my friend forced me to join it, and I did according to him. And now it seemed like I am um, getting some type of extrovert.
But I'm hoping that reading these books also helps you in broadening your perspective, and you also enjoy reading books now, because we can see that very few people read books now, and also talk about them. So one of the major missions about this project was to start our new generation or a younger lot to read more books. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that this project helps you in getting closer to books, and you will keep on reading more books and you will keep on talking about them. Nadeem or Nishwa, would you like to say something at the end?
Yeah, ma'am. I want to say that I enjoyed the session a lot, and it helps improving my reading skills and my conversation skills very well. And it helps a lot. And as you can see, that it helps the young generation to read books and to get to touch with the books and with the history about the world and what was happening and. And after and doing conversation about it is the uh, best, I think, best thing that when we would talk about it, it means more digestive to us. And I really enjoyed the session a lot, and may Allah bring you all happiness, and thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Nishwa, for such honest reviews. Nadeem, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I would like to thanks you in person and your association as well, and my college for giving us such opportunity, because in general we don't have such a opportunity to talk to people and to listen to their views, particularly we about our friends from Herat, and we listen to them. We got a lot of information, and we had a lot of misconceptions about them, which were cleared. And through books, we also learn about learn to see the world from different perspectives, from others' point of view as well. And these books also have provided us a lot of information, and these discussions have been really very helpful for us in understanding things a lot of. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nadeem. And as you know, I am feeling a little bit sad that this project is coming to an end, because I used to look forward to talking to you guys, because even though it was a bit difficult to get you guys together to come online, but still we always used to have a very good conversation. So on this note, I would end this session, and I would wish you guys good luck in your future endeavors. Keep on reading and keep on discussing books. Thank you so much, everyone. Allah Hafiz.
Allah
Thank you so
Hafiz.
much. Allah Hafiz.